So, should I have been totally misled, totally misfitted, totally forgotten and abandoned by everybody? What happens is I promised world without end, as Catherine the Great and as goddess Nicole Cattaruzza in scope in the future, that whatever transpired between an orange triangle and an orange square, that my position still remains that I am responsible for not only reporting, but for ushering in New Kingdom, New World, so on and so forth. I'm not angry at one particular person. Nobody really knows true history anyway. It's all a bunch of rumors, usually, so it seems. What floated my way was that the czars of Russia, the last czar, was Niklaus, would be the Germanic, the Kaiser way, the Rex, R-E-X, it would be Latin, German, Germano, Tedesco, would be in Italiano, it's Tedesco, it would be Kaiser, K-A-I-S-E-R. In America, when I came about, they sell in the bakery, B-A-K-E-R-Y, a bun, B-U-N, that is a Kaiser roll, K-A-S-I-E-R-R-O-L-L. Good? That's the bread. For you breadcrumb thieves of one heel of bread, and Elizabeth does not own it. So don't come to me from Davy from the Merchant Marines telling me that you're the best salesman ever. You'll be the best salesman ever when I give you something, you shut your mouth, and you go with bullets, and you take care of what I need. Selling does not do me any good. So, I'd rather my priests, they can go sell in mass quantities, in masses, in front of the church congregations. You people with your individual, I have a different wheel, I'm selling. Is an Elizabethan installation that was totally not allowed. I said Russian Federation and the United States of America Federal Reserve have it covered. Once Elizabeth did not acknowledge my family before me as goddess and as Catherine, I said, if you don't install the proper royal crown royale, I said, I will have a major problem. I said, and your business office and monetary fund and being able to move any kind of monetary around global between the U.S. and the USSR and the USA and the Russian Federation has been cut off. The kingdom is no longer a kingdom. Elizabeth is no longer allowed to call it that. The British whatever is no longer allowed to open their white mouth unless they want a nuclear weapon stuck down it. That was my guarantee. I said, you may come to meetings as long as when you go home, my starboard remains red that you stayed silent. The minute one of you turn green, you're dead. They will come for you. That's the way global operation makes sure that any installation in the office is doing exactly what Catherine and what Nicole need in the future to remain with Niklaus the Tsar and as a Tsarina. The minute those red lights of silence, when you leave the office after you're given an order, if it turns green, if all the other lights turn green and yours stays red, we know you didn't complete your task that I needed. We call you in. What happens next? Usually you don't leave the meeting. That's the way it works. We hunt you until you die. That's the way it works. That's the way you keep leadership with no excuses. I don't do this humanitarian bullshit that the fucking bleeding hearts, like it's a vote of some sort. There is no Crown Royal royal seeds that ever get a vote, a say, anything. When I give a direct command, the lights, my lighting system in global security is all I need to know if you did the job or you did not. End of story. It's whether you're genetic moved or not. That's the level of security breach that I'm at. I didn't have 40 years. I didn't have 80 years for the czars, the five, being Nicholas Sr., Nicholas Sr., Nicholas, his son, and then I think they had 5 children. Marie was one of them. That's what my grandmother went by from Ireland that moved to America. That's in there. And the 4 others that never got put into Russia properly or in anything English-speaking properly to fight on my behalf. Both sides. So, bullets work faster. It is a requirement if you want a global U.S. white, colorless fruit job. I will put something like panettone color in an office as long as it knows that it's coming to witness on Zarina's behalf. And that's it. It fights for me and my leadership against all of the other white, useless skins that turn green. Are we good? That's how we lead. So the BBC did a special on Catherine the Great. I watched. Close. I mean, she's a little heavier than I was, but I am, but whatever. I did say I was pudgy in the future. So the whatever. I'm actually the veneer. Vermeer, V-E-M-E-E-R, as a veneer, V-E-N-E-E-R. I sat for the painting in 1816, whatever, however that works. There's an image of it. It was documented in the secure way that we do everything. Walked into a private studio, whatever year it was. He said it was 1600. Who am I to argue? I didn't have a calendar, but I had him put it down on paper and then I signed off on it. The girl with the pearl earring, right, yeah, it's me. And it was in the history books on the way in when we were doing scope work. Let's see, to save the children, I'm the ungrateful future in a misfit, should anything get misprinted. Okay, I also put up on whatchamacallit, on Instagram and Facebook about somebody from the History Channel. They put up about a Japanese looking, they said it's North Korea, but it looked Japanese to me. Who the fuck could tell the difference? That in World War II, they went in there, the USSR, my hometown fucking heroes, yeah, kept to his word, and he let North Korea be, but on restrict for electronics, fucking U.S. assholes of doesn't follow a fucking order allowed life hijack and life hack, LIFEHIJACK, where the Koreans were given humanitarian aid stolen from America, by the way, by Britain's override of Catherine the Great and Goddess Nicole coming to America. She decided on her own she was going to have some kind of white vote in Royal Community House, and they overrode Goddess Nicole and Catherine the Great being Crown Royale. They then took the money out of the Federal Reserve and America's pocket and Russia's pocket. Britain did, which is why they're not allowed to have any business relations whatsoever. They're not allowed to touch a world fund. They're not allowed to move a world fund. They're not allowed to vote on a world fund. And they're certainly not allowed to tell you who gets to come to the meetings, which is why Russia's been kept out of G Summit 8. They moved it to 7. So anyway, we now have Korea was funded, given electronics, given machine, which they were forbidden. They were prohibited. They were not permitted to have electric at all. They were to stay in a low nation, no electricity. They get food, water, clothing, it. No electricity. I was very fucking clear. I don't need a humanitarian bleeding heart telling me how to spend the world's money when I already have an eye on the future. And if they give the fucking money to these fucking greedy cunts, it's going to cause a fucking expansion project that the whole rest of us, it's going to be a life a hijack, and it's going to be a life hack on the white kids, on royalty, and then on all of the other developing nations are going to supersede what I need to keep in white and black and caramel that I already have covered. And I have to figure something out with them. This is how you fucking split the future and misfit me into a 1978 I fucking hate. In elsewhere territory of godly things, you've now let 80 years expansion where they're into machines and whatnot in quantum world, where they're studying shit that they're not even allowed to know exists. So how's that for Elizabeth? You couldn't take one fucking lady out that was a cunt that was going to cause all the fucking problems? No, yeah, I guess not. You had to take out the ones in Russia. The ones that actually were going to be fucking useful and helpful and not be misfitted in the future. Stupid fucking cunts. So I put up on Facebook, it was a direct order that they totally overrode and did whatever the fuck they wanted. They didn't listen to Russia, they didn't listen to USSR, and they didn't listen to USA in America, which is what I run. Britain is a fucking sphincter. It doesn't get a say, it doesn't get a vote. I don't give a shit what it thinks it has. It has nothing other than a nuclear weapon up its fucking ass. That's the way that works.